Hi everybody and welcome to my channel. I'm Bees and today I would like to show you my new bullet journal that I'm going to start using in January 2022. I've never actually done bullet journaling before, so I've been really excited. I ordered this notebook in November and I've literally been putting together pages and spreads for the last month and a half. So I'm really excited to show you guys. I think these pages turned out pretty well for my first time around. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. Here is my bullet journal. First, let's start off with some basic information about this notebook. It is from Notebook Therapy and it is size B5. So I know that A5 is kind of standard for bullet journaling, but I've been using A5 paper for the last 2 years in my 6-ring binders that I used as a journal before trying out bullet journaling. So I wanted to try something bigger so I would have more space to be creative and to write every single day. So I'm using this as a 4-month journal, even though it's super thick, and like I just said, I write every single day. So I included a page for each individual day in the first 4 months of the year, and that's on top of my monthly and weekly and other spreads. So before I go and get into my monthly and weekly spreads, we're gonna start at the back. So this journal, it has, a nice pocket in the back for putting stuff in. And the last page of my journal is actually for pen and stamp and ink tests. So you can see that I have some bleed through here. Those were alcohol markers. I knew that they would bleed through, but I wanted to try. Some stamps, other various pens, and a spacing guide. Then I've actually got 2 pages here that I still don't know what I'm going to use for. And then my next page is actually my future log or year calendar. Now, why is this in the back? Usually people put their future log up at the start. Well, when I first started planning this bullet journal, I thought I wasn't going to put a year calendar in here. So it was kind of an afterthought, but I'm really glad I added it so I can keep myself organized and remember things like birthdays and school breaks and stuff like that. Now let's flip to the front. We're gonna start right ahead with a title page, and I'm not sure how I feel about this washi tape here, but the good thing about it is that, washi tape, you can just peel it off and put it somewhere else if you don't like it, so I might do that later. But as you can see, this is only a 4-month notebook, January through April. So I plan to use this for planning, with calendars and things like that. But this is also replacing my 6-ring binders that I've been using for daily journaling for the last 2 years. So I actually have a page in here for every single day of January, February, March, April. And that's on top of my calendars and my title pages and all of that stuff. So that's why, even though this is a pretty thick journal, it's only 4 months because I'm going to use it for every single day. So after my little title page here, I've got an index basically just telling where each of my weekly spreads is, and I have a language tracker and month review page for each month. March and April, all the pages are planned out. I know where all of them will be, I just didn't write them in the index yet. Then for every single month, I will have a big 2-page title spread. For January, I wanted to focus on things that are in Seoul. So I used to live in Seoul here in South Korea. Now I live in a different city, but I lived there for 5 years. So here on this side, we have this swirly cone statue thing that you can see at Cheonggyecheon in central Seoul. And then there's also a drawing of King Sejong, who created the Korean alphabet many, many years ago. Then we flip to my monthly calendar, and continuing the Korea Seoul theme, this drawing is based on a photo that I took at Gyeongbokgung, which is a historic palace also in central Seoul. Next we get to my first weekly spread, and you can see that there's actually 9 days I included here because I start my weeks on Monday, but I didn't want to make a weekly spread just for the 1st and 2nd of January. So here's a weekly page. In each of these boxes I will probably put things that I want to do on each day, or maybe if I think of something that I need to buy. And then here you can see that I already decorated my page for January 1st, so I used a stamp for the date, I used different kinds of tape, and this part here with the bells and this little border is actually pieces that I cut off of a Christmas card that I got, gosh, was it last year? And then I just used different types of paper, so I'm kind of playing around with collage and things like that. Then you see that we've got blank pages here for the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and then the 6th, I actually did this page already too. January 6th is the day that my husband and I registered our marriage. It was 2 years ago. We haven't had a ceremony or anything yet because, you know, Corona ruins everything. But I included a doodle that I did of both of us here, and then parts of a letter that he wrote me a while ago. So anyway, that's that. And then more daily pages, and then January week 2. So here's kind of just animals, right? So this is a koi fish that I saw somewhere in Seoul. And this picture here is a family of cats that lived in a park next to a school that I used to work at in Seoul. Then if we flip to week 3, nothing super special. The picture here is just based on a photo that I took at a really nice cafe that I went to. And you can see that by week 4, my creativity was drying up and I just went with sunset vibes. And then finally, I have my language tracker. So you can see that for January, I plan to focus on 3 languages: Korean, Japanese, and Chinese, and I have different skills that I plan to hit for each one, and I'll just cross off each day if I did each of those different skills. And last but not least, I have a monthly review spread. So you can see that I already have some of these spaces planned out, like here I'm going to write my favorite memories from the month. Here are health related things, so I'll check off if I did 10,000 steps or more each day, if I did exercise. This box doesn't have anything written on it yet, but I'm going to use it for a book review because every month I try to read one novel in Korean, so I'm going to put a picture of the book's cover, the title, the author, and a summary and review here. This box is for music, so whatever 3 songs I listen to the most during the month. And then here maybe something about if I kept to my budget, things like that. These boxes and this empty space here, I'm not sure yet, but I have a whole month to get that ready. So those are my basic spreads, my monthly title page, monthly calendar, weekly spreads, language tracker, and monthly review. Thank you for taking the time to go through my January 22 spreads and pages together with me. So like I said at the beginning of the video, this is my first time trying bullet journaling, and while I think the spreads that I just showed you are pretty okay and I'm satisfied with them for now, I haven't started using them yet. It's not January yet. So during the next month, I will use my bullet journal, I'll use these spreads, see how they work for me, and maybe I'll have something new in February, or maybe I'll decide that I really like the pages that I already have. Either way, I'll be learning something new. Once again, thank you for taking the time to watch. You can always leave a comment if you have something that you'd like to say, or you can also find me on Twitter and Instagram at Studious Bees. I also have a second Instagram account just for bullet journaling and journaling in general, Studious Bees Bujo. Alright, see you next time. Bye!